How's it going, everyone? This is Daniel, and in this video we are going to be talking about Tesla stock. We're going to go over and look at exactly the revenues, earnings per share expected for Tesla. We're also going to be talking about exactly what retail investors have been doing in the month of December when it comes to Tesla stock. And later on in the video, we're also going to go over short-term price prediction for Tesla and what are some important price levels we need to watch for Tesla stock. So all this important information in this video coming up. As you can see right here, we have Tesla stock today that's sitting at $1,106.22. We're up today 3.93%. We opened at $1,078 and we slowly went up to the upside and we broke this $1,100 level that we talked about on our previous videos. That was a short-term resistance price point level that we're looking at. As you can see, we broke above and we closed above this price point level, which is looking pretty good, and we're currently sitting at $1,106. When you look at Tesla stock compared to the overall stock market, Tesla is one of the best performing stocks today, up 3.93%. We're looking for the important consumer price index numbers to be released. The number that we're expecting for the consumer price index came in as expected, so there was no surprise. So the stock market really digested that information, and as you can see, we had a relatively flat day for some stocks, but we had some outlier stocks like Tesla that did very, very well. So now let's talk about exactly what's expected for Tesla stock for the earnings that is coming up pretty soon. So we're going to go over in detail breakdown of exactly what's expected for Tesla when it comes to the revenue numbers and earnings per share. So we've been getting a lot of price hikes from different analysts coming out. We got the JP Morgan, we got Morgan Stanley. Now a lot of people are saying and coming out and being super bullish with the Tesla stocks. As you can see here, we have this new article that came out from Seeking Alpha stating that Tesla could be on the path to $2,500 by 2025. So that is relatively closer to the price prediction that ARK Invest has, which is around $3,000. So a lot of people are actually getting closer to that price level of ARK Invest expectations. So let's go over and look at exactly why they believe that Tesla stock could potentially be hitting $2,500 in 2025. Of course, Tesla has been crushing the delivery numbers as we talked about it in the past, and their earnings report is coming out, and a lot of people and different analysts are expecting these numbers to increase. And yesterday's video, we talked about that Morgan Stanley analyst expects Tesla to deliver more than 2 million vehicles in 2022. So that's going to be a record for Tesla. And these numbers are expected to rise higher and higher as we get new gigafactories opening in Europe, also in the US. That can definitely be increased. As those delivery numbers increase, of course, the revenue is going to be exploding. So for this Q4 earnings, let's talk about what to expect. So the average expectations for the revenue for the Q4 Tesla earnings is around $16 billion. On the high end, people are expecting $18 billion in revenue, and that is still pretty high. Even with the average expectation of 16.15 billion revenue, that is still a year-over-year rise of 52%. And also on the higher end, we have $18 billion in revenue, which is going to put Tesla at a 68% rise in revenue from year over year. So that is pretty impressive. And when you go over and look at the earnings per share that is expected for this Q4 earnings report that's coming out, the midpoint, the average expectation is 2.28, and the higher expectation is at 3. So that is still pretty good for Tesla moving forward. So that is going to be one of the important numbers that we're watching. Of course, they could be a massive surprise, just like the delivery numbers that we had. Tesla blew those delivery numbers out of the park, and we'll see what Tesla is going to be announcing once we get this earnings reports coming out pretty soon in a matter of weeks. So now let's talk about exactly what retail investors have been doing for Tesla stock in the month of December. So we have the strategist from TD Ameritrade. This is one of the biggest brokerage accounts in the US. We're going to be watching a video of exactly of him going over how retail investors have been doing, especially using Tesla stock as a confidence gauge for the market. So there's been a lot of people that have been aggressively buying Tesla stock when it drops below $1,000, and they're actually selling some other stocks that are doing pretty good last year, like stocks like Moderna. It was a vaccine play. It performed very, very well. A lot of people are selling off, locking in profits, and actually putting money into Tesla stock. So we're going to go over and look at a video breakdown of how retail investors are investing and what price levels are they getting involved in with Tesla stock. So we're going to be watching this detailed video, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to be talking about what to expect for Tesla stock for the next few days, and we're going to be talking about the technical analysis. So first, let's check out this video.
And JJ, I mean, you obviously at TD Ameritrade have some good data in terms of what your clients might be active in to kind of move along into this new chapter of shifting away from transitory, seeing this all play out. Maybe not a surprise to see some profit taking in some of those sectors that had been hot in the run-up, including the names like Micron and Moderna. But what are you seeing when you kind of dig into that data now?
Yeah, absolutely, Zach. So as we release our IMX, it's our investor movement index. And what it does, it's not a survey. It actually measures what people actually truly do buy and sell. And as you have up on the screen right now, some of the names that were sold, which I find kind of interesting because you see things like, Moderna being in the drug sector, but then we saw Micron and Taiwan Semiconductor as two names being sold. So very interesting to me that our clients are either taking profits or a little bit of backing off on their exposure in terms of what they see in chips. The really interesting thing was in December, our clients actually took less exposure to the market than they had all year. In fact, what's interesting to me is they were net sellers of equities. That being said, we've seen them come back a little bit more as the year has begun. But I think more than most years, at the end of last year, there were just so many questions. And as we started the show, primarily around interest rates and what was going to happen there. And so I think one of the things you saw was people selling either to take profits or for tax reasons and not necessarily buying right away. So I think earlier this week, you started to see how quickly that sentiment can change and people coming in to buy the dips, which, let's face it, has been a strategy, not to say it's always going to work, but for the last 10 years, people who have used it have been pretty successful.
JJ, in terms of what people are buying, I mean, you had Tesla and Rivian up there as well. I mean, these are names that some would argue have been the high growth names that could see a bit of a pullback here as we anticipate this higher rate environment. As we've come into the first 2 weeks of the trading year, what are you hearing from clients? I mean, you think this trade sticks, or do you think there's going to be a bit of a re-rating on the valuation, especially on a name like Tesla?
Well, to me, it's really interesting. First of all, the EV space in general was so interesting for our clients in December. We saw Ford, Rivian, and Tesla as three of our biggest buys. So, I think Ford is a way for a lot of people to play this space also. For Tesla specifically, this is a name that really is a confidence gauge, in my opinion. It was so interesting to watch how our clients have traded this over the last few months. That is, if it gets down near that 950-ish level, you'll see clients start to come in and they'll actually buy it up to about 1,050. When it gets above 1,050, it seems to make clients a little bit nervous. So the amount of buying you see there starts to dissipate a little bit. So this is a name that really relies on the trend of confidence in the market overall. What's interesting is this is my barometer, so to speak, of people who are more confident in the market. And then when people are a little bit nervous, the two names we look for is Apple and Microsoft, which are two names people went to, as the year started, as always names that are well held by our clients anyways, but maybe a little bit more than we normally see because, again, these are blue chip, so to speak, stocks, but also get that growth component when things are going well. So it's really interesting how you tend to see a retail client start at Apple and Microsoft as we gain momentum, quickly go into Tesla.
Before we talk about a detailed breakdown, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bell if you're new. We talk about Tesla stock every single day. And of course, if you want free stocks, check out the links in the description box below. So as you can see over here, we have Tesla stock today that's sitting at $1,106. We were talking about a few days ago that Tesla could potentially be going higher and going over this $1,100 resistance level. It closed above this price point. We'll see if it's going to hold and potentially have a continuation move. We still have some jobless claims numbers coming out for Thursday, so we need to keep in mind that. But we're looking super strong for Tesla. As you can see, the volume increased and we're getting a lot of people buying into Tesla with an expectation of a massive earnings that could be potentially announced pretty soon for Tesla. So we don't know the exact date for this earnings report announcement, but it's going to be in a matter of weeks. It could potentially be announced by the end of January or at the beginning of February. So it's getting super close, and we expect Tesla stock to continue to rise. If we get a few shakeout or if the stock market decides to sell off, we still have a very strong support of $1,000, and I don't think Tesla stock is going to go down within the next few days to $1,000, but we can see just Tesla consolidating its $1,100 level if we see some kind of volatility with the overall stock market. But if everything is smooth, if the stock market is very solid, we can see Tesla stock for a continuation move to go higher and higher. And as we talked about in our previous videos, we see Tesla stock potentially hitting all-time highs pretty soon, especially in 2022. So that's going to be short-term price prediction for Tesla stock. Let me know in the comments section below, what do you think about Tesla earnings reports? Are they going to be beating the revenue expectations? Let me know in the comments section below. Of course, as I mentioned, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notification bell. If you want free stocks, check out the links in the description box below. But I'll catch you guys on another video. Have a wonderful day.